All right, folks, this is what the Galaxy S10 Plus is going to be like. This is the size of it. And I got to say, I'm really impressed at how small form factor this has, because it has the cutouts up here for the camera on the top. The two little cameras coming out in the screen, so that means it's going to be all screen at the top or whatever. But just chopping off the top and bottom, I'll compare it to the Galaxy Note in just a second here. But, you know, just chopping off the top portion there and putting the cameras through that portion of the screen really helps in the size of the device, because it is a pretty small device with it built like this. And I can show you what I mean in a second next to the Galaxy Note 9. But if you can see here, you're going to have these 3 camera setups on the back right here, which is, all the cameras and things are great as long as you're using them. If you're using them, I'm all for it. If you're not going to use them and they're just there just for show, not gonna be that impressive. But I'm pretty sure Samsung will bring it when they do have the actual device out. Now, depending on when you're watching this, I'm shooting this obviously before the announcement event, so if you're watching this, if something's changed, we will see it in the new devices that are actually out. But as of right now, it's the beginning of February when I'm recording this, so the devices have not launched yet officially. So you've got 3 cameras on the back here. You've got a LED notification light there, or LED indicator for flash and photos and things. And you've got your heart rate monitor and all the sensors that they have in there, like on the Galaxy Note 9 and all the other devices you can see there in there. So no fingerprint reader on here because it's going to be in the screen, according to Samsung and all the leaks and everything. So you've got a Bixby button and a volume rocker there. Then looks like you've got a SIM tray up top right here, because the SIM tray is on the top over here. And then you've got a microphone there. And then you've got a power button over here. And then you've got a speaker grill, a microphone, a Type-C port there, and a headphone jack. And that's pretty much it, man. The size of this thing is so different than the Galaxy Note 9. If in fact they do keep this size, with the same size screen, you can see what Samsung can do, or what any company can do, by just taking away the extra bezels around the edges and giving it pretty much as much screen as you can. This is definitely going to be a lot smaller than the Galaxy Note 9, even though it's going to have the same size screen. And it's more narrow too, just by a hair. It's a lot more narrow. It's not as wide as the Galaxy Note 9. And that's great. That's going to be a good thing. I mean, it's going to be really nice. You can see the positions of all the buttons pretty much still have the same layout. Bixby, volume, and then power. And as far as the headphone jacks and speakers and everything, they're in the same spot. Microphone, speaker, Type-C, headphone jack, all in the same spot. Samsung didn't change much. It looks like they're now I'm comparing this next to the Galaxy Note 9, but in this comparison, it looks like the microphone on the S10 Plus is a little over towards the center of the phone on the top. But the size of this thing is going to be really, really nice when you compare it next to the Note 9. So that gives me some idea of what the Note 10 could be. The Note 10 could be a lot smaller, or it could be the same size as this, and they stretch it out and give it more screen. And that is what I would recommend Samsung to do. Push the limits on this current body right here. If you're going to keep the same size, push the limits and give it as much screen as you can, and give it a 6.7-inch display. Give it a 6.8-inch display in this same body. Look at what Sony is doing. Sony is pushing the limits with 21:9 aspect ratio. 19:9, 19:9.5 is the biggest that we have right now, but Sony has pushed it to 21.9, which makes it a long, narrow device. It's very strange, but it'll grow on us like everything else. Once muscle memory kicks in, it becomes the norm, and that's how it is. So the Galaxy S10 Plus, man, I was thinking I was going to focus on the Galaxy S10 primarily, but it looks like the Galaxy S10 Plus isn't going to be that big. So that might be the one that I could possibly recommend to people, possibly, to give you some perspective. Let me grab some other phones here. Sizes right there. 6.2-inch display on that phone, and these are 6-inch displays. As you can see, having that all screen form factor really helps. These have 6-inch displays. So it gives you some idea how much body and room you could save. Obviously this has a 7.2, so it's not even gonna matter, but it gives you some idea of how, let me grab the Pixel. It gives you some idea of how much screen they can get in there. This is a Pixel 3. So if Samsung does stick with this design, I think they might have a winner. And just for kicks, here's the iPhone. This is the iPhone 10. They might have a winner if you know this now, obviously the phone is going to sell very well. People are going to buy the S10 Plus with a smaller form factor. Now consider this. You see how small this phone appears to be. Like now don't get me wrong, this is a big phone. I mean, I have big hands, but when you put it next to the Note 9, which has the same size screen, it's not that much. It's smaller. So considering you're getting all this screen, imagine how the S10 and then the other version is going to be. They're going to be the size of the Pixel. You know, it's 3. You know, they're going to be super small phones with the all-screen effect. So this is going to be something interesting to take part in. So this is just a quick look at this dummy unit and gives you some reference of how big the S10 Plus is going to be and how small the S10 is going to be. Think about that. It's your man Jay. I'm out.